Hello, everyone. We have a very special guest. My name is Daryl Guberman. Let me introduce you to him first. Well, we have Kelly Oberg in the house as well, the CEO, new CEO of Boeing. We're going to put Kelly down, but we're going to bring in Mr. Gautam and Mukanda. And this video today is about QA expert Daryl Guberman's reply to Yale School of Management, Gautam Mukanda, on market alert Boeing. We're going to tell you a couple things, and we want you to sit back down, enjoy yourself, because you were saying the right things we've been saying for the last couple years concerning that. Well, actually, since Mr. Oberg got on board a couple months ago, we told him he had to roll up his sleeves. We thought he was going to do it. In every picture that I've ever seen, he's got his blue jacket on, sport jacket. So sit down. We have to go through this so that you gather this thing. I'm Daryl Guberman. I'm the CEO of Guberman PMC LLC. Some engineering friends of mine at Boeing gave me this about over a year ago or so. In New York, we met and we were discussing some quality issues, especially about some composite parts that they wanted to know about the fastening systems and all that, because we dealt with these fasteners. I have a BS degree in management. I have also many technical diplomas and certificates in composite plastics, Kevlar, boron, graphite, fiberglass. They're mechanical fastening and also adhesive fastening systems. We also have experience and education within the non-ferrous metallurgy as far as aluminum, titanium alloys. Our background, of course, is, as I said, Kevlar, boron, graphite, fiberglass, ceramics, metal matrix composites, non-radar reflective materials. We're also a penetrant level 2 certified inspector. We're going to go in. I want to show you a little bit of background on Mr. Kelly Oberg. Kelly Oberg, Mr. Oberg, was the CEO at Rockwell Collins, and he was the guy on board, and I will show you the timeline. The timeline is he was the father of the MCAS system. The MCAS system that basically killed 348 people, Mr. Mukanda. And here it is. Here's a little bit better picture of him. In April of 2017, Mr. Mukanda, I went to Professor Mukanda. I went to the April 17th, 2024 dissertation, so to speak, from Mr. Sam Salapar. He was the whistleblower that talked about design issues about the 777, 787 aircraft. He's correct on that. You see me over on the other side of the world, which is over here, and I was holding up two pieces of paper. Now, Mr. Mukanda, I was not invited to go. I was not invited, but it was an open door, so I stood up and I said my piece. Those two pieces of paper, you'll find out in the context of this video to you, are pieces of paper that allow Boeing to give up on-site auditing critical processes to two pieces of paper. You will find that out very shortly. He was also the CEO of Rockwell Collins, that sits on ANSI's board. The American National Standards Institute, American National Crediting Board, is a private, not-for-profit, non-governmental entity over 100 years old. They formulate, you'll see it, and we're going to continue on. As I said, here's ANSI. The American National Standards Institute is a private, not-for-profit, non-governmental corporation that has both federal agencies and corporations on board. Now you're going to find out that everything that I'm saying, that you tried to say, is factual. In 2015, Randy Doherty handed over the leadership of the International Accreditation Forum to this Communist Chinese national, Zhao Jinwu, who at the time was mandated by his country of origin to take our data through the China National Intelligence Law, Article Number 7, mandated espionage. Randy at the time was the chairman of the IAF and also the principal on the IAF Tax Report Board. The IAF is an association of accreditation bodies, national and international, and also their sister organization, ILAC, the International Laboratory Accreditation Cooperation. In 2018, ANSI formed, merged with ANAB, the American National Crediting Board. They have both federal agencies and corporations on board. ANSI took over complete control, as I said, but as I said as well, in 2015, Zhao Jinwu took over the control of the IF. It is a company that is incorporated in Delaware, an American company. Okay, how do you like them apples? Also, between 2015 and 21, ANSI, ANAB, along with their federal agencies and corporations, which you can find out that they got their data taken from China during his term of duty, probably given data rather than taking it away. They sat on the IAF from 2015 to 2021. Here you go. This actually tells you about ANSI being the founder of the IAF and also ANAB. ANSI and ANAB are underwriters, which that means they take full legal responsibility. The IAF and ILAC, the International Laboratory Accreditation Cooperation in Australia. In 2017, you had Zhao Jinwu, who is still the leader of the IAF chairman. He is also the chief executive of the China National Accreditation Services, handing a laboratory certificate to an ill-prepared laboratory. The technicians in there, they didn't have enough trained technicians. And what happened is, in 2017, under deposition of Ms. Pamela Sale, the VP of ANSI ANAB Accreditation for Laboratories, stated under deposition that there is no protocols. The laboratory is basically out of control. The laboratory certificate that Mr. Zhao Jinwu gave the laboratory in Wuhan was a fraud. Not even a fraud, it was worthless. Over here, what happened is, Mr. Mukanda, is this. In 2018, a contingency came from the United States, went over to Wuhan, and they discovered that the scientists over there were crying for more trained technicians, 2018. 2019, of course, the COVID escaped. And you have the factor that the CDC came out with volume 25 of the CDC document for training for virology labs, bio-level 4 laboratories, high contagions. They said, and I quote, "The most valuable person in the entire lab is highly trained technicians, for that is its first line of containment because most releases in these laboratories are human error." Boeing, here we go, Boeing. "22 years ago, Boeing gave up certification to PRI, Performance Review Institute, which is for non-destructive testing, heat treatment, and welding. Okay, they gave that up 22 years ago. 22 years ago, Supplier Bulletin, they gave up. They said send in your ANSI ANAB certificate, as long as it's AS 9100 certificate, as long as it's ANSI ANAB accredited. AS 9100 is for aerospace certification. So what they said is this, Mr. Mukanda, send in your NADCAP cert, send in your parts, and Boeing doesn't have to send any on-site auditors. The next one is for this, and this is flight safety parts and everything. Send in your AS 9100, that's ANSI ANAB accredited. Send in your cert, send in your parts, don't worry about it. 2009, the FAA came in and made Boeing a regulator. They didn't have to tell anyone about the MCAS system. 2018 and 19, you have the Ethiopian Air and Indonesian jet that crashed. In 2019, okay, the FAA came out and said, FAA has never allowed companies to police themselves or self-certify their aircraft. They're lying. Boeing sits on ANSI ANAB's board, okay? Right over by the, you'll see, FAA. You have ANSI ANAB and Boeing sitting on the Management System Accreditation Council that can grant, suspend, and withdraw certification. You have ANSI ANAB called out on their supplier bulletin. You have failure. 2017, Boeing was caught fudging documentation. Sitting on ANSI ANAB's board is the DOJ, DHS, and FAA, and Boeing, okay? Also, NIST, the Department of Commerce, you will see. This guy gets $120,000 tax-free plus his federal salary sitting on ANSI's board, but he's a NIST employee getting his federal salary. Phil Matheson, DHS, gets a federal salary plus $262,000. And then the last and final part is you have these federal agencies. You have the Department of Commerce, Department of Homeland Security, Department of Justice, and FDA, all sitting on ANSI ANAB's board, the accreditation body of Boeing. They're sitting together with Boeing. But they're not just sitting, they are customers of ANSI ANAB, just like Boeing. Do you think there's anything wrong with this from a business perspective, Mr. Mukanda? I do. My telephone number is 203-556-1493 or Daryl, TQRS, @yahoo.com. I look forward to hearing from you, and I thank you.